If we stand together, learning disabilities are identified early and accurately. Students with learning disabilities are not assumed to be lazy. Race, ethnicity, languages, and economic status do not play a role in the under or over identification of students with learning disabilities. Teachers receive comprehensive training and evidence-based instructional techniques and interventions for students with learning disabilities. Learning disabilities are universally understood so that all individuals are accepted, supported, and empowered to live a self-determined life.
Hey everybody, it's Chef George Duran from Food Network and TLC's Ultimate Cake Off. I am happy to be standing together with the LD community here. This is truly dear to my heart. I, as a young person growing up in South America, grew up with some learning disabilities myself. But the biggest problem was that I didn't know this, and most of the time what happened throughout my youth was that everybody asked me, "What is wrong with you? Why are you having so many difficulties at school?" And this in turn translated for me getting some help. But not a lot of people at my age back in the 70s had this kind of help. And my goal for the future, if we stand together, is to find more diagnostic tools, or at least tools that are reachable, that are more accessible for the youth, so that young people, as they're growing up and they are having difficulty with any sort of learning disabilities, they're able to get this help immediately, or that adults that are with them, the teachers, the parents, can immediately spot it and say, all right, there is a way to test for this. There is an easy way to figure out what the problem may be and to find solutions for it. Because once we can diagnose and find out what these problems are as a young child, I have no doubt in my mind that for the future we'd be able to solve all these problems and allow a lot of young people to have a normal future, well, just like I have myself. So I'm standing together here again with NCLD and very happy to say that the future looks bright, guys. I'm hopeful, and I know that we will find a lot of these tools accessible for our future children and beyond.
What's up, y'all? It's Garrett Bowles here with the Denver Broncos. If we stand together, our future will look like a world where we can listen to each other, that allows us to better understand each other. A world where we can go above and beyond to provide resources to those that are in need. A world filled with compassion and unconditional love. A world that allows us with learning disabilities to shine. It's my hope that we can all stand together to make our future better.
Hi, my name is Julia, and I stand with NCLD because NCLD has allowed me to become my best self in the workplace. And I hope on this LD Day of Action, you can become your best self.
Hi, my name is Susan Reynolds, and I'm the field organizer for the National Center for Learning Disabilities. I am a learning disabled adult and identify as ADHD. I'm raising a child with a learning disability and ADHD, and my husband is a disabled veteran. So as you can tell, everyone in my home identifies as a person with a disability. We are heavily invested in our community, the disability community. As a child, I faced educational discrimination. I was denied an IEP or an individual education plan and a 504 plan. I had too many high school teachers say things like, "Kids like me don't take the AP exams," and other pretty awful things. In the workplace, I faced discrimination and had to fight against stereotypes that both harm and hurt my community, the disability community. When asked what does the future look like for people with learning disabilities and attention issues, it's a future where the disability community, which includes those of us with learning disabilities and attention issues, have independence, we have freedom, we have control over our own lives. And as President George H.W. Bush said so beautifully on the day that the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed, it is a future where we have the opportunity to blend fully and equally into the rich mosaic of the American mainstream. Our future is a part of the greater disability community, and we can only achieve a future of independence and more when we recognize that. So don't be ashamed to say that you are disabled. I spent too many years hiding behind that shame. It took me too many years to be proud that I am a part of the disability community. So advocate for acceptance, understanding, and for your civil rights. Make trouble, because the discrimination I face in the education system and in other jobs, and more discrimination than anyone should ever have to endure, it needs to end. And we, together with our allies, can make a difference.
The story starts in elementary school. I very quickly learned I was different, for I was told it every day. I would be the last one done with the packet, the first to start chewing on his pencil, and the very first one to get his foot moving 1,000 miles an hour. So, like any deficient kid, I was labeled. But surprisingly enough, even the labels, they couldn't help me. So one day, my teachers decided to bring my parents and I together. They sat us down and they said right in front of our faces that your son is incapable of learning and that he is stupid. You see, humans compensate and humans evolve. That is exactly what we have achieved during COVID-19, and that is precisely what I decided to do. You see, I was somewhere down here, and right there, well, that is the gold standard for me. Normal. So I thought to myself at a very young age, now how the heck am I gonna get up there? Well, I started to compensate. I was an award-winning swimmer. I taught myself how to play piano. I'm an award-winning artist. And you know, it didn't stop there. After that, I taught myself the stock market. I learned technical analysis. I invested in Bitcoin. I had my first 4-figure passive income month before I'm even an adult. But all of that was deprived of me. The idea, the purpose, the future that I would not take part in because I was just too stupid. And that same exact idea, purpose, and future is deprived of so many at such a young age.
Hey, it's Meredith O'Connor, and I love this question because to me, a future that is rid of ableism would not just necessarily include and accept people with disabilities or who learn differently, but it would encourage and look for those people, because I think having different aspects of intelligence and having different areas where you're strong really can provide a wonderful service to society. By forcing, a square into a round peg, it's not going to go as well as fostering somebody's strengths. And when you foster someone's strengths, I think it can really lead to some wonderful discoveries in life. My favorite quote is by Albert Einstein. And I might not be getting this right, but if you try to teach, everybody is a genius, but if you try to teach a fish to fly, it will spend its whole life thinking it's stupid. And to me, in my experience, I remember thinking that because I learned differently, I internalized it and thought it was like, I'm not as good, I'm not as smart, when really I do excel in certain areas. But it's just in different ways, and I need, have different learning needs. So I think that had, if the system can truly embrace, and by system I mean educators and friends and peers, if we can all truly embrace each other's differences, I think that will allow for people to truly realize who they are and fulfill their potential.